Welcome to SCM Globe.
When you log in, this will be the first screen you see. This is your My Account page. I'm just going to show you how to actually create a supply chain and edit its entities. So I'll click up here in the upper left where it says Start Here. And I will give my supply chain a name. We'll just call it Demo. And it'll take me right to the edit screen. Now, you'll notice right away on the right-hand side there are some buttons and an accordion menu. The accordion menu has products, facilities, vehicles, and routes. These are the four main entities of your supply chain that you'll be editing and manipulating when creating the supply chain. With every supply chain, you'll want to first start with the product. For this one, we'll go ahead and make sure we have product selected in the upper right, and we'll click New just above it, and we'll have this window pop up. We will be able to give the item a name, the product. We'll call it candy. We'll say its price is $10 per bag. It's a 3-pound bag of candy, and it takes up 0.2 cubic meters. We'll hit Update, and we'll see now that we have in our products row candy. With the product created, we'll want to create the facility that now produces this candy. So we'll click the Facilities button, and we'll click New in the upper right, and we get another new window that pops up. This is the editing for a facility. You'll be spending lots of time in this. We'll give it a name of a candy factory. We'll change its type to a factory since we're going to want to produce some product there. You'll notice that this loads some default values that we've already put in. You can change and manipulate these values to whatever you want, whether it's a scenario you're trying to run or you're just trying to see how cheap you can get the supply chain to run. Now that we've entered the basic facility information, we'll want to add the product to the facility by clicking this product button in the bottom left of the facility window. You'll see it opens another window here. In this window, you can add the product candy, and if you had other products, you would see multiple listings here. You can click the candy product, and since we know this is a factory, we've already added some default values of production per day and quantities on hand, but we'll just out of curiosity, we'll raise this to 150 production per day, and we'll put 500 on-hand quantity. If this was another route or a store, you could put demand per day instead of production per day, and that will consume the product on that facility's end. So we'll go ahead and add this product, and now we'll see here that under the products listing, we have candy. The demand per day is 0, the production per day is 150, and the quantity on hand is 500. We can quickly edit these values if we wanted to by just clicking on them and then changing the value and hitting Enter. So that's a quick way of being able to manipulate some of these values when you're looking at your facility. I'm going to go ahead and save this, but I have not placed my facility anywhere on the map, so it's going to tell me to please put my facility on the map. And what we want to do is we'll just scroll in. If you know the specific location that you want to go to, you can go to it. We'll just put it on this corner here, and now we see the factory icon, and hit Save, and we now have a facility. So we now have one facility that's producing one product, and that's candy that we've established here. Now we're going to want to create a store that consumes the candy. And we'll basically want to follow the same steps when we create the factory. Be sure you have your Facilities button clicked, and click New in the upper right, and we see this window again, but this time we're going to make it the candy store. And we'll select the type as store. Once again, you see the default values load here, which are fine. We'll just leave those for now. But we're going to want to add the product candy to this facility with some demand. and add the product, and you see we open this window again, and we have the product selected type candy. And because we already have it as a store here, we know it will demand something per day, so we've loaded some default values. Once again, you can manipulate these however you want. We'll go ahead and run this. Obviously, this would run out in 2 days if we didn't have any deliveries going to it, because it would demand 140 over 2 days with a quantity on hand of only 100. But we'll go ahead and add it, and we'll hit save again, but it'll tell me that I haven't placed anything on the facility. So we'll go in and we'll set up a candy store next to this park here. Just click the map. You can also see that there's the satellite view if you wanted to really go in and look at a facility or not. But for right now, we'll just stay with this. So I've added it to the map, I've added the product, and I've entered all the information, and it's going to demand 70 per day. So I hit save. And now I have 2 facilities, the candy factory and the candy store. Now I want to deliver the candy from the factory to the store. So I'll click my candy factory on the right-hand side under facilities, and then I'll click vehicles. As you can see, there's no vehicles currently at this facility, so we'll want to create a new facility by clicking the upper right-hand button, New. We have another window that opens. Now this window is just for vehicles. We'll just name this the candy truck. There is a type down here. We'll just call it a truck small. And you see we load some default values for you. You can change these to fit whatever scenario you want as well. We'll just leave the default values in for now, but I do want to add a delay between departures because I want this truck to leave once a day. So I'll put 24 hours in on the delay and hit update. Now you see we have the candy truck on the facility. You can see it in the right-hand side under vehicles. We want to make sure we have it selected, and then we click routes. Now we want to add a route to the candy truck that belongs to the facility candy factory. So as you can see, I have those selected through the hierarchy on the right side, and I'll want to create a new route just like I've created all 3 entities. I have the route selected, and I click new, and then I can type in this route name, and I'll just call it the delivery for now. And you can see there's some information here that you can't edit because this inherits from the vehicle, and then it also will show the distance and time when I've added a stop. To add a stop to a route, you want to click this drop down here where it says available stops, and we click candy store and then add stop to route. And now you see we have a Google Maps route drawn from the factory to the store, but it doesn't have any product defined yet to be delivered. So we'll want to click here under stops where it says product. Click that, and you'll see we have another drop volume window open. Once again, if this had multiple products, you could select them all, but we only have candy in this one. And you can see that the facility for the candy store is 70, and it has 100 on hand. So we give you a little helpful information when adding this to the stop. You'll want to deliver 70 every day, and that might work, but we'll put 80 just in case. You can see here that there's also a pickup quantity, so if you wanted to do returns or you know the average return of a product, say it's 1 or 2, you can add that quantity in, and that will tell the vehicle that when it stops at the store to also pick up one as a return item and bring it back home to the warehouse. Go ahead and click add on this, and now you can see the drop quantity of 80 and the pickup quantity of 1. Just like on the facility, you can click into these and change the values on the fly if you want. Another thing you can do is if you're going to run a scenario where you know certain roads might be blocked, so you have to take another route, say maybe this bridge is under construction, you can click the route and drag it, and it will update the route. Now I know on this one it might be minimal, but when you're doing it across the country, that can cause for a big supply chain change. So we'll go ahead and click Update on this, and now you can see that I've created products, the candy, the factory and the store to consume it. I gave the factory a vehicle, the candy truck, which delivers to the candy store, which I've defined the demand per day as 70 and the quantity on hand as 100. So that's the basic setup of a supply chain on this application. We have a guide set up that I essentially followed while giving this presentation that you can follow along to as well. I'm going to go ahead and link that in chat for all of you.